Hello. So this is my ALS Ice Bucket Challenge video. First of all, I'd like to thank Ian and Hiju for nominating me. Second of all, you'll probably notice that I'm indoors right now. So I'm actually opting out of the ice bucket part of the challenge. And this is just because right now, in case you don't know, California is going through a horrible, horrible drought, and I feel that every little bit counts. That said, the actual ice bucket part sounds pretty fun, so maybe when I'm in New Jersey in a couple weeks, we'll see. So as I was saying before I was interrupted by this little one, I was actually opted instead to make a donation, and but that was a decision that I made after doing a little bit of research about, well, first of all, the disease, and second of all, the organization. So I feel that I really like this campaign and the movement that they've done. I think they've really raised a lot of awareness. So I feel like I've learned something about the disease. I was actually hoping, I'll be really brief, I promise, but I was hoping to share some of this with you guys, whoever's watching this. So I've actually made a brief video about what I've learned about ALS and the ALS Association. So I hope you'll watch. So ALS stands for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. In the US, it is often referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease. Lou Gehrig played baseball for the Yankees in the 30s. He had numerous records and played 2,310 consecutive games before the disease forced him to retire. 2 years later, he died from the disease. The disease is neurodegenerative, meaning that it causes nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord to deteriorate and die. The earliest symptoms of the disease are muscle weakness and atrophy. 75% of patients will experience this in one of their limbs first. For example, they may find themselves dragging a leg or tripping more often. The other 25% will first experience slurred speech or difficulty swallowing. The disorder progresses quickly. Patients will soon lose their ability to walk, speak, control their hands, or swallow food. In the final stages, most ALS patients will die from respiration failure or pneumonia. The disorder is caused by the degeneration of the upper and lower motor neurons. The upper motor neurons are found in the motor cortex and brainstem. They transmit motor information to the lower motor neurons located in the spinal cord or cranial nerve nuclei. The lower motor neurons then pass this information along to the muscles. Our motor neurons enable voluntary movement. Damage or degeneration of these neurons leads to paralysis. However, since ALS primarily impacts motor neurons, cognitive function is usually not impaired by this disease. Stephen Hawking is a great example of this. Genetics appear to play a large role in the disease. 2% of ALS cases can be linked to a defect on chromosome 21. 20 years ago, the study of the SOD1 enzyme's protective role was a major breakthrough. A correlation between SOD1 mutations and ALS development was drawn, but the exact causation is still unknown. Furthermore, 90% of cases have no known cause. Current research on the disorder is focused on the role of the neurotransmitter glutamate in neuron degeneration. As you can see, there are many questions that remain unanswered about the disease. This is why ALS research is so important right now. The disease affects roughly 30,000 Americans at any given time, with 1 to 2 new cases per 10,000 people per year. Unfortunately, the vast majority of patients will die in 3 to 5 years after the onset of the disease. Here, Stephen Hawking is an exception because he has lived with the disease for more than 50 years. At this time, there is no known cure or way to halt the degenerative process. The FDA has only approved one drug, known as riluzole, to slow ALS's progression. Nutrition and therapy also play major roles in helping ALS patients. The ALS Association is attempting to combat the disease by spreading awareness and funding research. According to their website, they helped fund many discoveries I previously mentioned about the disease's causes. Last week, they announced they are awarding $3.5 million in research grants. The association checks out on charity legitimacy sites such as charitynavigator.org and guidestar.org, where it has received especially high scores for accountability and transparency. The Ice Bucket Challenge itself has been tremendously successful with 1.2 million videos and $13.3 million raised to date. Because there are only 260,000 new donors, or roughly one donor for every 5 videos made, it has been criticized as an example of slacktivism. Nonetheless, I think it's a good cause, and I've elected to participate. Anyways, there you go. That's everything I know about ALS. Now, just a quick disclaimer, I'm just a kid with Google, and that does not make me an expert on any of the things I've said in this video, so please take it all with a grain of salt, or many grains. Well, I think this is the part of the video where I get to call out other people and nominate them for the Ice Bucket Challenge. So I'm going to nominate my 3 future roommates, Will, Adam, Jay, and I'm also going to nominate Jack Herrera. So you guys have an indefinite amount of time, because 24 hours is kind of short, notice to either dunk ice on yourself or to donate, or do both, because that would be awesome. Anyways, thanks for watching. See ya.